super grateful to have you here, Stacy. Thank you so much for agreeing to pour into Team YOLO and to keep us inspired and to give us some skills and some tools that we can utilize as we're on day 8 of our 90-day run. It's so important to keep our energy high, but also to have, very simple, basic things to focus on because as you know, I think that one of the hardest parts, and I've been guilty of this in the past as well, is making this complicated. So really excited. I know my first introduction to you was when I think I caught you in the Pajama Regional, and I loved your energy, and I also just loved I loved everything that you had to say. It made so much sense, and it was so simplistic. So I really was so encouraged and excited that you agreed to come in and pour into all of us. So to be respectful of everybody's time, we're going to get to it, but Stacy deserves a formal introduction. So let me read her bio, and I'll pass it over to you, Stacy. Stacy Whitmer is the wife to her college sweetheart, Daryl Whitmer, and the mother to 2 amazing little boys, DJ and Derek. She received a full gymnastics scholarship to the University of Maryland. And of course, you're a D1 athlete and competed with the top Division I team for 4 years, where she was the team captain her senior year. She met her husband Daryl in college, where he was on a full football and baseball scholarship. Look at you 2 powerhouses. You can say that their family loves sports. I can only imagine. Before starting with the Juice Plus company in 2014, Stacy worked a full-time job for over 11 years in the corporate world. However, her head and her heart always wanted to be home with her kids. 10 days after she walked away from her corporate world, she was introduced to Juice Plus. After much research, Stacy not only started her entire family on Juice Plus products, but also jumped at the opportunity to make this her new career. Hitting national marketing director in just over 2 years. That is one heck of an accomplishment of itself. Stacy is living a life of passion and purpose. Stacy also has had the opportunity to train on the main stage at our international conferences. Holy cow, 7 times in the past few years, and was also part of Closing Conference in spring of 2019 in Sacramento. Closing Conference is one of the most powerful moments of her career. In November, Stacy celebrated 7 years with a company that changed her life forever. She's grateful every day to be able to work from home, now doing something she loves. You guys, she is a powerhouse. You just heard it. Please make sure you have your notebooks out and you're taking notes and you're paying attention. Stacy, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Christy. Thank you for asking me to be here. I love being a part of a community that continuously feeds into each other. And, that's what the Level Up training did for us. That's what it did for me. And I know that's what it did for all of us. I love this business. I've been doing it for 7 years, and something that what we do when we do events or when we're getting fed into, we are never, ever left without inspiration, right? We always leave places. We always leave trainings inspired. But here's the thing. Inspiration without action is just inspiration. So it's not just being inspired, it's being inspired and taking that to move it to greater action. It's really what you do after the inspiration that makes all the difference. That's really where you take what you've learned and you put it to life for your business. And I'll tell you, the Level Up training has certainly done that for me. It's certainly done that for my business. And I have a few things that I took away from the business, that I took away from that weekend, a few things that really spoke to me, and then how I put them to action for me and my team. And I'm absolutely going to get into all that with you. But before I get there, I actually wanted to spend a minute to talk to you guys about you for a second. I want to talk to you about where you are right now. So I'm going to be completely vulnerable and honest here. Leading up to the Level Up weekend, I call it like the journey of the in-between. I was in this space where I know where I wanted to go. I'm a national marketing director, and my vision, right, is to get to PMD plus, follow in the footsteps of the leaders before you, like the incredible Lauren. I know that I want to get there, but I was in a place of uncertainty of how I was going to get there. I knew where I wanted to go. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. How many of you have been in that space, that journey of the in-between, that in-between space where you're like, okay, I know what I want to do, but I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm kind of here, right? It's a very kind of it's a very uncertain space. It's a place that can ultimately paralyze you at times, because it's this space of working almost in a circle where there's like no launch point. You're kind of just working in this space, but you're not getting anywhere. It's like on a hamster wheel. I'm going to be honest, leading up to Level Up weekend, I felt for maybe almost a few months, maybe 6 months leading up to that weekend, I just felt like I was in that in between. And it's not that I didn't know where I want to go. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. And then came Level Up weekend. And I'll tell you, here's what's brilliant about being inspired by leaders, by being inspired by people all over the world. Wherever you are in that moment with your mindset, wherever you are in your world, right, in your business, that's what you receive. There were 3 things that stood out to me. And those 3 things, which I'm going to share with you in a minute, those 3 things helped me get clarity on where I wanted to go and how I wanted to get there. And I'm going to tell you, this is something I got really focused on this year. It's these 2 questions, and I'm going to ask you these questions. And I don't want you to answer them right now. I want you, because if you're going to answer them right now, it's going to be an emotional answer. And it's one that I want you to sit with. These are questions I want you to lean into, journal them out, write it out, really figure out what the answers are. And the first question is, what does success look like for you in your business? What does success look like for you in your business? And the second question is, what does good look like for you now? What does good look like for you now? And now these 2 questions are so important, and I'm going to tell you why. If you don't really know, if you haven't defined what success looks like for you, you're going to be in that in-between space for a long time. You're going to be in that space of hamster wheel for a long time. Because what happens is, everyone has a different vision of success. Maybe it's a financial goal. Maybe it's impact. Maybe it's a goal to give, right? Maybe it's a title. What does success look like? It doesn't matter what it is. Mine is going to be different than yours, but you have to define it. You've got to define it. You've got to own it, and you have to embrace it. And leading up to that weekend, I was in this space in between. I wasn't really clear on what success looked like for me now, because I'm going to be, again, honest with you. 2 years ago, what success looked like for me is different than what it looks like now. 2 years ago, what good looked like for me then is not what good looks like for me now. And I think a lot of times we are so stuck on what was that we're not really embracing what is. And that's part of figuring out what good looks like now. Because then 2 years ago, what I did to build my business is very different than what I need to do to build my business now. So I have to embrace who I am now. I have to embrace where I'm at now. I have to embrace the team that I have. And I have to get crystal clear on what I want and what that looks like. And then I'm going to share this with you. Once that focus is made, once you get crystal clear, it's like all of a sudden, it's like you have binoculars on and everything's a little bit blurry. And then all of a sudden you get into that space where everything is right in front of you. Understand, you have unlocked your inner magic. It is those moments when you are absolutely unwavering in what you want and what that looks like to get there. That is when every decision you make is going to lead you forward in the direction of where you're going. If you don't have that plan, if you don't have that vision, if that's not clear enough, you're just going to be working in that circle. But as soon as that gets clear, your inner magic is going to be unstoppable. That's when you really, everything you do is going to become easier. Your confidence change. I call it hitting your stride. You're going to get to a place where you're just going to confidently, intentionally do the things that you need to do every single day to build your business. That has to happen after you answer those 2 questions. So I challenge you before you go to sleep, after this training is over, to sit with that. And I promise you, once that is clear for you, You've just changed the game. You've just changed the game. So I wanted to start with that because it's something that really helped me. I was in this space of in between until Level Up. And Level Up was flipping fantastic. Let's just say that. It was just fantastic. And listen, I've been doing this for 7 years and I've heard a lot of trainings. I have been fed into by so many incredible people all over the world. There was something about that weekend. I think that every single person that watched it in our company needed. We all needed that weekend. We needed those messages. We needed those trainings. We needed the honesty and the vulnerability of so many of those people sharing truly where they were, their highs, their lows, their in-betweens. We needed all of that. And there were 3 things for me that I pulled from the Level Up weekend. And those 3 things kind of all interweave in themselves, but they were specific for me. And these 3 things are this. We have to continue to build belief for ourselves and for our teams every single day. We have to continue to build belief in our product and our business every single day for ourselves and for our teams. That was something that came out that was thrown in my face. And I'm going to explain why. I'm just going to tell you the 3 things first. The second thing was, I think Katie Ravy said this, we have to stay close to the fire. We have to stay close to the fire. Now, I do know what she meant by that. My version of that might be a little bit different, but I think we're 100% on that same path. You have to stay close to the fire. And the third thing is, I believe Katie said this too, don't quit in the dip. Do not give up. If this is what you want, you don't stop until you're proud. That 100% came out to me. Those were the 3 things that just spoke to me in a way that I've never heard them before. And now let me walk you through what those, where I was and why those 3 things were so big for me. Let's start with building belief. When I first started in this business 7 years ago, I had a 3 and a 4-year-old. My kids are 5 minutes apart. And when I first started in this business, in the first 18 months, I went to 3 boot camps, 5 regionals, and 2 conferences in 18 months. Why was my belief steadfast? Why was my belief unwavering in our product and our business? Because I was constantly being fed into by some of the strongest leaders in our world. Catherine Lee, Lauren Lahav, Kurt Beavers, Deanna Christofferson. I was being fed into by some of the greatest leaders our business has seen. And that kind of belief is why I'm still here right now. Understand that our world changed when COVID hit. So doing those kinds of events have become challenging. So going to 11 events in 18 months is not likely for people at this point. And a lot of times people are kind of over Zoom a little bit, right? They're zoomed out maybe. So we have all these reasons why we can't do all these things. And yes, a lot of them are valid, but a lot of them too, we just have to pivot. We just have to find a new way to make sure that we are instilling belief in you every single day, that we're instilling belief in our teams every single day. Because I find that the world we're in right now is quick to switch. If it's this was too hard. Oh, this one said no, I'm out. I'm going to go find the next shiny thing. Here's what I'm going to tell you right now. I promise you, I don't know what color your grass is. I am too busy watering mine. I don't care what's happening on someone else's lawn. I am too busy focusing on what I need to do for me, for my team right here. And we live in a world that is quick to decide that this isn't going to work. And do you know why that is? Because we haven't spent enough time in this new era building enough belief in what we do every single day. This product is unmatched. We work with a company that has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It is the most clinically researched nutritional product on the freaking planet. Own that. Proudly talk about that every single day. And if you need to build your belief, if your world isn't building your belief enough and this matters to you, go do it yourself. We have countless videos on Healthy Living Revolution, Freedom Revolution that you can listen to on a day-to-day basis. Jump on any of these calls, watch a recording. This is your business. And if you're going to treat it like your business, then make sure that you are investing in time in you too. Investing time to build belief in you if you need more of it. Because I promise you that first 18 months when I did all of those things, when I didn't just do that by myself. I had like a posse with me everywhere I went. I had my team, I had teams of people, and then we would all do the same thing. And then people from all over the country, we were everywhere. And all of those people that grew to NMD with me, they're still here with me right now because their belief is unwavering, just like mine is. Belief is everything. And I heard that so much throughout the level up trainings. I think every person at one point said how strong their belief was, how important events were to build their belief. It was spoken about so much. And that for me was a big thing. We need to continue to build our belief in our product and our business for ourselves. Starts here. It starts with you. And then for our teams as well. And there's a lot of ways that we can do that. On those power hours, watch a quick 5-minute video or an NMD speech. My gosh, you want to build belief? Watch NMD speeches. That is a powerful 6 minutes that you can really feel, that can really fill your cup. So now let's talk about the second thing, staying close to the fire. God bless you. God bless you. The second thing is staying close to the fire. I think, again, my opinion, we are in a world that is quick to write things off or is quick to just say, oh, I can't do that, or, oh, it's too late, or, oh, we are quick to make an excuse why we can't do something. This is the world we're in right now. I'm not saying you, I'm saying in general. And staying close to the fire for me means this. We need to take part in things that are going to continue to build our belief. We need to continue to take part in things that are going to inspire us, that are going to fill our cups, that are going to make us inspired to move to greater action all the time. So congratulations to the 17 people, the 16 people that are on this call right now, whoever is watching on the live stream. You should be so proud that you've made your business a priority tonight and you were sitting here listening to this because you didn't have to, but your business is a priority for you and you chose to take the time to do this. That's staying close to the fire. That's what that means to me. It means that when your team is doing power hours, if you're able to get there, get there. That's staying close to the fire. That means if your team is doing trainings or leadership development or whatever it is, lock in, lean into it and do it too. Because I will tell you, the people that show up on my trainings, the people that are on my leadership calls, the people that are consistently with me when we're training or doing all the things, those are the people that are growing in my business. It's not a coincidence. It's not magic. It's not anything other than they are staying close to the fire. They are staying close to they have made their business a priority enough that they're going to take that time, block it out, and allow it to be a priority for them because their business is a priority for them. So if your business is a priority for you, then I challenge you to stay close to the fire, stay close to the things that are going to consistently inspire you to take action in your business. And the people that are going to consistently inspire you to take action in your business. If there are people in your organization, upline, sideline, that are going to offer to coach you, be your accountability buddies, I don't care what that looks like. Find what works for you to keep you locked into a space that is going to consistently help you move forward. That, for me, is what staying close to the fire means. And here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. I think we need to give ourselves this 90 days to really give yourself this next 3 months, right? We're 8 days in. Give yourself this 90 days to lock in to this team. Lock in to what you're doing right now. Jump on the trainings, every training you can be on. Because I'll tell you, when I first started, I mean, to this day, I am like, I just love I love absorbing things because I always take something. There's always something that I can take from everything I've ever heard that can make tomorrow look different than today. So anything for the next 90 days, give yourself this time. You deserve this. You owe it to yourself. You said yes to this business. Own it. Own it. You deserve to give yourself a full shot. Stay close to the fire. Let everybody that's going to feed into you, let them feed into you for the next 90 days. See where your business is at the end of it. Just watch what happens. I can't predict the future, but I promise you that kind of consistency is going to change the game. That's a choice. You have to choose to connect and stay connected. So that was the second thing that screamed at me, because I think we also get to a space within our teams that we've just allowed, like, oh, it's okay. I'll watch the recording. Really? Really? Are you really going to watch the recording? Are you going to actually do it? Really? Come on. Do you know that I don't record my team calls anymore? Because nobody's watching them. Let's just be honest. And I'm not saying that nobody wants to watch them, because I watch things like that, but I will say that 99% of people aren't watching them, right? So do the best that you can do and put your best foot forward for the next 90 days. Lean in and commit to that, okay, for the next 90 days. So then the third piece, do not stop until you're proud. Do not stop until you're proud. Here's the thing about what we do. You cannot fail in our business. You either keep going until you're successful, you keep going until you get where you want to go, or you quit. That is just how that works. This is, you truly can't fail. What you do in this business is your choice. And I love what Katie said, just don't quit in the dip. This business isn't hard. That's my dog. There she is. If you needed to know what's happening upstairs. In this business, it's not rocket science. It's not hard. It has to be consistent. You have to be consistent. And I think there's a quote that I like. This is like my quote for the year. And I'm going to tell it to you, my version of it, right? There's like what the quote says, and then my version of the quote. Here's my version of the quote. Don't be pissed by the results you didn't get with the work you didn't do. And the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because we can spend a lot of time thinking about our business. We can spend a lot of time thinking about what we have to do. We can spend a lot of time talking about what we have to do and thinking and talking and spend the whole day thinking and talking. And then we're exhausted at the end of the day. And when you look back, what did you actually do? Nothing, right? Maybe nothing. So I think we have to get clear on what we want and where we want to go. And we have to understand that we can't be upset if things aren't working, if we're not doing the things to make them work. And I'm going to talk to you about the things that can help and what we're doing in my team. But I just want you to like lean into that quote a little bit. Because I want, and that starts here, guys. You have to like, that's when you like look inside and you really have to be honest about where you are. You really have to be honest about what you are and are not doing. And it might be hard, right? It might be hard for you to like really embrace what is or isn't, but it doesn't matter. Yesterday doesn't care about what's happening. I mean, today doesn't care what happened yesterday. Start over. Tomorrow, start fresh. New page. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you were. Embrace it and focus forward. This is what we want to do. If you are in the in-between right now, get clear on your goals. Get clear on where you want to go and move forward. If you are in a dip, now's not the time to stop. Dig in. This is when we grow. You want to talk about the biggest space of growth in my business? It's when we're challenged. Friends, when you look at a Lauren or you look at anybody that's successful, they didn't end up on top of their mountain. They climbed it and they got their butts kicked along the way and they fell and they got back up and they climbed again. They didn't stop. They didn't stop until they got to where they wanted to go. This is not the time to quit. This is the time to dig in and let's do the work. Let's do the work. So what does that look like for us? There are 3 C's in our business. I call them 3. I actually added a 4. It's like a quad of C's. It is connections, conversations, commitment, and consistency. These 4 things are what we are focusing on my team right now. We are doing a 90-day focus. I like acronyms. I just think they make things more fun. So 90-day focus is what my team is doing. Follow one course until successful. So this is what we're doing on my team. And it's all about those 4 C's. It's about making connections every day, having conversations every day. We're committing to the next 90 days and we're doing this consistently, period. So this 90-day focus looks like this. It's not, again, rocket science. It's just the work that needs to be done. We're doing 5 reach outs every single day for the next 90 days. That's it. That's what our 90 days is going to look like. I have a cute little flyer, image that I made, a little PDF that everyone prints out. And here's the magic to this. You can't fill the information out the day that it's happening. My challenge to you is to fill it out the day before. I don't want you to sit on, today's Tuesday. Tomorrow, you're going to say, okay, this is who I'm reaching out to today. And now you start writing it out. That's taking away from your productive time. You need to plan your day the day before or the night before or the week before. I plan my world on Sunday night. My week, my 5 conversations every day is planned on Sunday night for the week ahead. That's including connections, people that I want to touch base with that I haven't talked to in a while, follow-up conversations. That's not including customers. That's separate. These are new contacts. These are new conversations. What we do isn't hard, but we have to be consistent with our actions. If I tell you that me building to national marketing director, do you know what I did for 2 years? I had 10 conversations every single day and I didn't stop calling people. I called people. I have a house phone, like 1985. I actually have a house phone. I'm not even kidding. It's not a rotary phone, but it's like legit. It's a house phone. It's upstairs. I called 10 people a day and I didn't stop until I got 5 answers. Yes, I will start your business. Yes, I will start your product. No, I will not do either. And maybe wasn't an answer. I had 10 conversations a day. So I'm not even telling you to do that, right? That is a bunch of brave right there. You don't have to be that brave, but you have to be brave enough for what we're doing in my team is 5 conversations every day. We have one big event every month. It's the middle of the month. So a lot of those conversations are inviting to something else, right? You spend the first part of the month inviting to the event, and then you spend the second part of the month following up from it. So a lot of what we're doing is leading up to it and then the after part, right? So what I did with what I learned from our 90 days was what I learned from our level up training was to take this, what I want to build in my team, this belief building, and I'm getting more intentional about doing that for my team every day. I am making sure that I have opportunities for people to stay close to the fire every day. I am hoping to inspire people to action even when they're in that challenging time in their business every single day. And the most important part is the action. Because I will never forget it. There was an Australian NMD, my very first conference. It was like 2014 or 2015. And he said, doubt takes you out of action, but action takes you out of doubt. If you can lean into the next 90 days and commit to your action plan, it's like a muscle. You have to build it. It might not be easy today, but as you keep doing it, that muscle is going to get stronger and stronger. And before you know it, you're going to be like, oh, 5 is nothing. I could do 10 today. You're going to hit your stride. You're going to feel so confident. And so it's going to become so much easier, but you have to build that muscle and you have to commit to doing so. So for us, for me, for my team, those actions are simple, but they have to be consistent. At the end of the day, what you choose to do for this business is your choice. I can't want this for you. Christy can't want this for you. Lauren can't want this for you. If you want this for you, you have to commit to being consistent every single day. If you want to watch your business change forever, commit to your 90 days. Commit to them. Lean into those 90 days. And on the other side of it is the magic. It's absolute magic. It's just your choice to go get it or to sit back and watch everybody else soar. I believe in my heart, every single one of you, we are all one decision away from breakthrough in our business. One decision away from changing the game forever in our business. It's just a choice. And I say it's time we rise. It's time we level up together. Our world is looking for health and hope, and we provide both. Let's go get it. We can do it.
That was so good. Thank you so much. You know, that thing, I mean, there's so many like Stacy isms, and I would have to imagine that, there's a lot of quotes that you've put your own spin on. I don't really know what it says, but this is
this is my version of it.
This is my version of it, but I love that the world is looking for health and hope, and we have it. That's such an important thing for us all to recognize. There's a lot of things that you said, but I want to be respectful of your time and everybody else's time. I try to keep these calls short, but the one thing that I've seen throughout all of this is really ownership and responsibility that we have. And I know you and I, you know, you came from an athletic background, but being in the corporate world, you know, sometimes we're waiting for people to tell us what to do.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for permission. We're waiting, you know, and the reality in this world is whatever this thing is 100% on us. And so going back to the 3 things that you talked about that you picked up from Level Up is that it's so incredibly important to make sure that you are building belief, like for yourself. You're building belief in the product, you're building belief in the business, you're building belief in the company for yourself as well as your team members. Yeah. And so that's one thing that I just want to reiterate to everybody on the call, that if you are here and if there's something that you know is stopping you, like if you haven't had this coming back from the dead product story, which one of my team members had said and was stuck for a while. And I'm like, you know, that makes a lot of sense to me. I got to help her collect more stories. We got to make sure that she's watching more NMD speeches. She's, you know, when she's around other people, she's hearing testimonies. You guys, if you don't feel compelled to go out there and, you know, run through the wall and share this product from the rooftops, then there's probably, as Stacy said, an issue with the belief in the product itself. So it's not that there's something wrong with you. It's this can happen because you haven't noticed any, as you know, something in yourself, or maybe you haven't tuned into as many stories. So it is your responsibility to go to your upline and, or maybe your upline's upline or whoever, a sideline that you've met somewhere, and say, listen, I'm having an issue with this because it's a real thing. And your business is not going to change and shift like Stacy says it can until you figure that out. And the same thing goes for the product, for the business. If you don't believe that if you're not making the money in the business that you want to make, and so you go, I don't even freaking know if this thing's real. Like maybe it is a pyramid thing. I don't know. Right. Like, you know, I see what she's living, but I'm only making $500 a month. So you have to like have somebody sit you down and show you what it takes. I need X amount of customers. I need approximately this, approximately this many customers, approximately this many partners. And my pay line every month needs to say something around this, and that will equal the amount of money that I'm trying to reach each month. So again, it's not our, as uplines, we have a lot of people. If you are feeling like there's a gap here, reach out and ask for help. And the same thing goes for the company. If you don't feel like a strong tie with the company or that your values are aligned, maybe you need to learn a little bit more about the company. For me, my value system is respect, appreciation, integrity, and truth, right? So this company aligned very well with my value system, and the fact that they appreciate everybody and they're respectful. And if you follow me on social media, I'm huge into philanthropy, and the fact that they give so much away and they're looking to help the next generation, that all was in alignment with me. And so maybe there's some stories you need to hear about Jay Martin or other leaders or things that the company's done to make sure that you can be resilient in all of that. So that's the first thing. The second thing was choose. Again, number two, I hear again, is what is my responsibility in this? We are entrepreneurs, we are business owners. And your second point was choose to connect and to stay close to the fire. So we all have places that we can be. We all have friends and family and other responsibilities. Some people have other jobs that are pulling us away. It is your responsibility to choose to set those boundaries and to get the time away to be able to plug into these calls. Now, you don't want to get yourself into a situation where all you do is calls and you're never going into action, right? So if you're like Stacy and me, where when we plug in, we're like, woo, like it's time to go, then, maybe you block the hour after the Tuesday night calls, you plug into the power hours, your energy is going to be highest then. So understand yourself. Like, we know ourselves the best. I call my chicken list after the gym. If you heard me at Level Up, that's a true story. I feel invincible. So when is your time to call your chicken list? It's your responsibility. Stay close to the fire. And then the third thing is don't stop until you're proud. So what is the goal? For me, it's 100 Club PMD plus. So I'm not going to feel proud until I'm there. So what things, I did a Facebook Live on this today. I don't think we realize what we have to say no to in order to say yes to the things. And it's not no forever. I rescue dogs. I always have, somebody to nurse back to health. I'm not doing that right now because you know what? It takes a lot of time. And just when I think I can fit it into my life, the darn thing gets really sick, or the mom, has a C-section and now the babies need to buy. It's just like, it just goes crazy and it's taken away from what I need to do. So where in your life can you say no, just for a period of time until you get yourself to a point where you're proud, and then you can add more things back in, responsibilities, family, whatever it may be. So Stacy, it was such a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to having you on again at the end of this year when we're gearing up for Level Up 2023. And thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. So much fun.
My pleasure, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a wonderful evening. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, come off mute if you want to and say thank you to Stacy on your way out.
Thanks, Stacy. Thank you,
Stacy.
Welcome, my
Thank you,
pleasure.
Stacy. That was awesome.
Got it, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything I can do to help with here?
What's that?
Anything I can do to help with your people here too.
Yeah.
Happy to connect. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks,
Bye.
Stacy. See y'all.